Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Rachel and welcome to a new reading vlog. So today's reading vlog is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be setting myself a time limit and trying to read as much as I can in 5 days. The reason for this is because this weekend I'm going on a very exciting trip. I'm going to Lachlan at Locke's Library's house in Houston. I'm going to be seeing her and a bunch of my booktube friends, and I'm just so excited for this weekend. But I definitely want to read as much as I can up until that point because I just know I'm not going to be reading at all this weekend, and I want to get a vlog out for you guys. So I thought it would be fun to challenge myself and try to read as much as I can within 5 days. So today is Sunday and this vlog is going to end on Thursday, and we shall see how many books I get read in that time. So I have already started my first book for this vlog, and that is The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee. So this is an adult fantasy romance. Our two main characters are Nira and Dacre, and we get both of their POVs, which is fantastic. And in the beginning of this book, we follow Nira, who is the princess of a very tyrannical king. She ends up running away from the castle where she was kept imprisoned essentially because she does not have powers, and in this kingdom, if you don't have powers, that is a very bad thing, especially if you are the supposed heir to the throne. Her and her father had a very terrible relationship, so one day when there was a raid on the castle, Nira takes this as her opportunity to escape. She has been living on the streets just trying to survive since then and not get caught by the king's guard when she inadvertently ends up getting kidnapped by a rebellion group. This rebellion group absolutely hates her father and absolutely hates the monarchy, but they do not know that they have kidnapped the missing princess. She does not reveal her identity to them because she thinks, of course, they're going to absolutely hate me if they find out who I am, and they take her in and essentially tell her, you either have to join the rebellion or we are going to end your life. So she is going to join the rebellion. She does let them know that she does not have powers, so they decide they're going to train her as a warrior. Dacre is the son of the leader of the rebels, and he does not like Nira. As soon as he meets her, he finds her very suspicious. The two of them get into a little tussle when they first meet, and he just finds her very grating and is very untrusting of her, which is the most perfect setup for a hate to love romance. So where I'm at in the book right now, Nira just got to where all of the people in the rebellion live, and she's learning just a lot more about this kingdom. She has been fed a lot of information by her dad, the king, but she is starting to learn more about the rebellion and what they stand for and how their lives are day to day. So I am 70 pages in, which means I'm about 20% of the way through. First impressions, this is going wonderfully. I'm really liking this. I like our two main characters. I really like Holly Renee's writing style. I've read one other book by her, and her writing is just very like straight to the point, which I really enjoy. And she's focusing a lot on the tension and just building this hate to love relationship between our characters. I feel like the romance is really going to be the central point to this story. I have seen a few of my friends reading this who also really enjoyed it, and they definitely said that this feels mostly like a romance just set in a fantasy world as opposed to a lot of expansive world building, which I'm excited about. I think that this romance is going to be really great. I also feel like this is going to be pretty spicy because of the other book that I read by Holly Renee. That was a very spicy, fun time. So I'm really looking forward to this. First impressions are good. I like our two main characters. Dacre is a really fun, just angry, broody male main character, and so far what I have seen of Nira, I really like her, and I'm excited to watch them battle it out. So I'm going to keep on reading this, and then I don't know what else I'm going to read this week. I'm thinking maybe The Mist Thief by LJ Andrews, and then I also want to pick up maybe a Kingdom of Blood and Magic, which is by Chiara Forestier. I believe that's her last name. But yeah, I'm just going to try to read as many books as I can over the next 5 days. I'm going to take you guys along. I hope that we have some amazing reads this week. So I'm going to go read more of The Veiled Kingdom, and I will talk to you guys when I have a reading update. Hi besties, happy Monday. So today is day 2 of this reading vlog, and I have a very exciting reading update. Also, I'm pretty sure I am sitting in the exact same spot that I was sitting yesterday. Apologies on that, but more exciting. I'm 50% of the way through The Veiled Kingdom, and you guys, the romance in this book is so good. Oh my goodness. I can feel the tension between these characters. The way that Holly Renee is writing this romance, the banter, the tension, the hate to love, the angst is so good. Truly, I could not put this book down earlier today. I read more than I meant to because every chapter is just so tension filled, and the focus on the romance is just so well done. I'm really loving this so far. It's definitely a romance set in a fantasy world. I think I touched on this a little bit yesterday, but now that I am farther in, I can definitely confirm there's not a lot of world building. The magic is minimal. Maybe that will be explored as the series goes on, but if you are interested in this book, definitely go in with the mindset of this is a romance that's set in a fantasy world, not exactly like a fantasy romance. It's very different from a book like When the Moon Hatched, which has very immersive and expansive world building, or like the Book of Azriel. That story just feels so big. In this book, we are definitely just narrowed in on our couple, but the romance is done really well. So while this is a different type of fantasy romance, I'm really loving it, and I think it's super strong for what it is. Our two main characters, Dacre and Nira, they definitely have a dynamic that reminds me of Xaden and Violet in Fourth Wing, and then also Thea and Wilder in Blood and Steel. So if you like those dynamics, you will absolutely eat this book up. There's a ton of training between them, and they're trying to not be a attracted to one another but are forced into all these situations of having to physically battle it out while also verbally sparring. They just have gotten under each other's skin like immediately, and there's been so many just like amazing scenes that I have absolutely loved and just have made me blush and given me butterflies. Like, this book is just so much fun, truly such a delight, and it's just so easy to consume. I'm like flying through the chapters. So this book, needless to say, is going very well. While there aren't a lot of world building or magic elements at this point in the story, there's definitely a lot of mystery surrounding our female main character. There are aspects to who she is that I feel we the reader have not been made privy to, and additionally Dacre is very suspicious of her. That's why he's like trying to hold off on like having feelings for her, because he's like, I know that she's a traitor, I know that there's something about her that I shouldn't be liking, and I know that there's something hidden underneath this like innocent facade that she's giving off. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm also so curious like how her father the king is going to play into this. Also the fact that she doesn't have magic, like there's going to be a conflict there, I'm sure. So while this is a romance forward fan row, we do have some interesting plot reveals, I think, coming that I'm really excited to find out what those are. So this is going super well. Truly, I have no complaints. I'm having a ton of fun and I'm really excited to keep reading and see what happens. So that is my update for The Veiled Kingdom. As I said, I'm 50% of the way through and I really want to try to finish this tonight because I am dying to see how things develop between Dacre and Nira, because their dynamic is just so, I just love it so much. So I think tonight I'm going to do just that. I'm going to try to finish this book. So I will talk to you guys soon with more reading updates. Hi besties, happy Wednesday. So I have had a very productive and very busy day, and a lot has happened since we last talked. Number one, I did go and get my nails done. I just got like simple gel on my actual nails, but really happy with them. I also got my toes done. Won't be showing that on the internet, but they're purple and they're very cute. And after that, I went to Target and I got all of like my travel toiletries to go to Texas this weekend. I also finalized Lachlan's gift, which I am going to show you guys that because her birthday is this weekend. I forget if I mentioned that, and this video will go up the day after her birthday. So Lachlan, if you're watching this, you already know what you got, but I'm really excited about it, so I wanted to share it with you guys. But first, let's do reading updates. So number one, I finished The Veiled Kingdom, and oh my god, that ending, I was not prepared. There was no way to prepare me for that ending. Part of the ending I suspected. I feel like we were working our way towards that, and I'm very excited by the prospect of what's going to happen in book 2, but there's something that happens in this last chapter that was like a dagger into the chest with a twist. Truly don't know how we're gonna come back from that, but we shall see. All I can say is overall, Holly Renee wrote a very entertaining book. I really enjoyed this. I had so much fun with it and I could not put it down. It was extremely bingeable. Every single chapter had lots of tension. There was a lot of romantic development, and the plot really did kick off much more towards the end, even though we did get bits and pieces and kind of like little bits of mystery throughout, like I said in the last check-in. I'm gonna go with 4 stars for this book. There was a time where I was like, is this gonna be a 5-star read? Like, that is how just like giddy and excited I was feeling about it. But there were a couple moments that felt a little convoluted and a little bit too easy, very convenient things that happened for our characters. And I only felt that way 1 or 2 times, but it was enough that I was like, you know, this isn't like a 5-star perfect read for me. But this is an extremely fun book, and if you are looking for a spicy romance in a fantasy world with that Fourth Wing vibe, a little bit of Blood and Steel vibe, I think you will really enjoy this. This is also a book that you could just like sit down and read in a day. It is very fun. The ending is a bit of a shock in multiple ways. Prepare yourself. I don't know how you can prepare yourself for that, but I'm sending you love as you go into the final chapter of this book. But I am really looking forward to the second book, which is called The Hunted Heir. It was supposed to come out in July, but the author actually just posted today, I think, that it's going to be delayed until August, but I will wait forever for that book because I think that the sequel is going to be potentially even better. I read the synopsis of it and it just sounds so much fun, and I really like Holly Renee's writing and I'm really invested in these characters. So this was a fantastic book, definitely recommend. Next up, I started The Misthieves by LJ Andrews. So this book comes out on June 30th. This is the 3rd book in the Ever Seas series, but it is technically a standalone. Like, the series consists of interconnected standalones. So we have The Ever King and The Ever Queen, which is a duology following the same characters. Now we have The Mist Thief, which is following Jonas and Scotty, and this is just gonna be their one book, and then the next book is gonna be following a different couple, etc., etc. So this is a marriage of convenience story between an elf, and that is Scotty, our female main character, and then Jonas is an earth fae, and we meet him right in the beginning of the Everking. He is one of the main characters of that book, longtime friend, and I love Jonas. He is so funny. He's kind of a bit of a playboy, but he's also really friendly, really kind, has a really good sense of humor, very quick-witted, and he and Scotty end up in this kind of like arranged marriage in order to broker peace between their people for now. The two of them are not obviously excited about this arranged marriage, particularly Scotty, but they agree to it because they don't really have a choice. Scotty does not seem to have a lot of agency in her life, so she sort of just is resigned to accepting this fate and getting married to Jonas. After the vows are exchanged, the two of them are heading back to the Earth Fae lands to live amongst Jonas's people, which I'm really looking forward to because we did get introduced to that area in the beginning of the Everking, but because our girl Livia does get kidnapped and taken onto a ship, we didn't get to spend too much time there. So I'm looking forward to getting to know that kingdom a little bit more and see how Scotty adjusts. I'm enjoying this book. The beginning was a little bit slow, I'm not gonna lie, but I love all of the like character interactions, but I'm holding back judgment on that right now because I'm on page 101, so I'm only like a quarter of the way into this book. But I love Jonas. I think Scotty is an interesting character. I need to get to know her more. She's very stoic and I want to see more, and that is also really what Jonas wants. He's like trying to bring out the fire in her because he just likes messing with her. So we'll see how their dynamic continues, but there's a lot of great characters in this book. There's definitely a big found family that is being formed, and I'm curious to see how Jonas and Scotty work together as a couple. So I will keep you guys posted on my thoughts for this, but it's going well. I like LJ Andrews' writing overall. I think that the first book in the series, The Everking, was like quicker for me to fall into, but I am definitely invested in these characters, so I'm excited to keep reading. All right, and then very quickly, let me just show you guys what I got for Lachlan for her birthday. I'm really excited for her to open this. I just love giving gifts so much, and I got her a few very cute things here. So number one is a book from her Amazon wish list, and that is Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. So I have not read this book. I believe this is more horror, like deep sea horror, but back in the day, like 3 or 4 years ago when I was in my thriller and like a touch of horror era, I was looking at this book because I heard a lot of people talking about it, saying it's really fantastic. I believe we're following a crew that goes down to investigate something in the sea, I believe as scientists, and our main character has a really vested interest in this because I think her sister went missing on a previous excursion. That's the general vibe I'm getting. But I really like the tagline. It says, "The ocean is home to many myths. Some are deadly." It's giving me Murderous Mermaids, perhaps, question mark. I have no idea. But Lachlan, I really hope that you enjoy this book. I've heard wonderful things. All right, and then if you don't know, Lachlan is obsessed with Lilo and Stitch. Like, she is the #1 Lilo and Stitch fan, I am pretty sure. So I got her these Lilo and Stitch socks, which are just so cute. There's 5 of them and they all have like different prints. They're still all connected. I'll probably keep this on for Lachlan to take off, but I just think that they're so cute. We have a pink one with Stitch and like Saturn on it, and then these green ones, which is just very Lachlan coded, more pink, and then we have this blue, and then the last one is gray with a Stitch on it. So I think she'll really like these. These are also super soft. And then the final thing that I got her is the Origins Drink Up Intensive Overnight Hydrating Mask. This is one of my absolute favorite overnight masks ever. Number one, it smells so good and just so fresh, and I really think that it helps hydrate my skin, so I wanted to get it for Lachlan as well, just because I absolutely love it. She can do a little self-care, put this on, put her Stitch socks on, and then read about some ocean horror. What a night she can have. So those are her gifts, and then I'm just gonna show you guys the card because I think it's so beautiful. It says like, "Have a beautiful day," but it reminded me of a mermaid, so I had to get it, obviously. And then the bag that I got her, so this is what I'm going to put all of her gifts in, is super cute. I 100% got this in like the little girl birthday section, but here's the thing. This is a vibe, you know, like this is a vibe, and I think Lachlan's gonna get the vibe. I think she's gonna understand why I got this. I feel like if I had to put Lachlan and I's friendship into an image, this is what it would be. Like, this is her and I, and I hope that that makes sense. But I saw it and I was like, this is so cute. Like, I have to get it. Like the dragon, the castle, the fantasy. It's so adorable. So I did not intend to get her a little girl's birthday gift bag, but here we are. All right, so for the rest of the day, I'm gonna do laundry. I'm going to dye my hair, and then I might start packing a little bit, and then I'm going to keep reading as well. I really want to make some good progress on The Mist Thief. My hope is that I am going to get this vlog all done and uploaded and scheduled tomorrow night for you guys on Sunday. So that means I need to read about 330 pages in the next 36 hours. So we shall see how that goes, but I think that I can do it. So I'm gonna go now, sit down, read, and we will talk soon when I have more to say about The Mist Thief. Hi besties, happy Thursday. So today is the day. It is the last day of this reading vlog, and it is the day before I go on my trip, and I have so many things I need to do. Oh my god, I have this like super long list on my phone working on trying to get things checked off. I need to charge my camera batteries, my headphones, I need to charge my Kindle, I need to pack, of course. I need to finish The Mist Thief. I need to edit. I have not edited any of this vlog yet, which is past Rachel's fault. She clearly does not like me because I'm gonna have to do it all today. I need to create a thumbnail, of course, upload and schedule. And I also wanna try to like get to bed early tonight because I'm waking up at 5 a.m. tomorrow for my flight. So it's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a doozy. But number one priority is finishing The Mist Thief. And I did read quite a bit last night. I only have like a little bit over 100 pages left to go. And now that I am past the 50% mark of this book, I am enjoying it, but I'm not obsessed with the romance dynamic. It's hard because I love Jonas. Like, I am the #1 Jonas stan in this house. He is so fantastic. I knew as soon as I met him in the Ever King, I was like, I love this man. I cannot wait to be in his POV. He is so funny. He is so witty. He is just like a really great romance hero. But I think the way that this marriage of convenience dynamic is done is not that interesting. What I think makes a good marriage of convenience is two people who are very begrudgingly entering into this marriage. They don't want to be around each other. Like, it's the ultimate forced proximity, but maybe they have some like beef with one another. Maybe there's this angry tension between them, and then they slowly start to get to know one another. Maybe they're put in a few different awkward situations. Like, that is what makes the marriage of convenience trope just so wonderful. And I feel like things have just been too easy for our characters. I really don't feel like it's been that hard for them to be husband and wife. I think that they've fallen into the roles very easily. There has been a couple conflicts here and there, but they've been resolved relatively easily. So at times while I've been reading, things have just been way too peachy keen, which I do not like. I want some drama. I want some conflict. I want some angst. I want them to really feel upset by the fact that they're in this arranged marriage and then realize like, oh god, I'm falling for them. But in this book, I feel like it is just two people who are generally level-headed and decide to get along and give the romance a shot. And one thing I do not want in my fantasy romance books are level-headed characters. I don't want that. It doesn't make for an interesting romance dynamic. So that has been disappointing me. But there are positives to this book. The first thing that I really wanted to point out is the humor in this book is really great. It's very quick and very witty, and it's just something that I really enjoy. I have definitely like laughed at some of the things that have been said in this book. The dialogue is really great and the banter has its moments. I really enjoy Jonas's family and his friends and being in his world. It was just a nice refresh as opposed to being in, you know, the ocean for the last two books. So I liked that. And I like seeing Scotty come out of her shell. She's clearly a damaged character. She doesn't trust very easily. So seeing her fall into a very like comfortable routine with Jonas and his friends and family, it's very sweet. It's very wonderful. I want that, but I want that after like our two characters really battle it out verbally and are just fighting off their feelings and hating the fact that they're in this marriage. I want those things after. I want things to be happy and lovely and sunshine towards the end. I don't know, it just happened a little bit too quickly for me. But like I said, I do really like the humor in this book and I like the setting a lot and I do like these characters. I like the series and the world that they existed. I think that I just wanted more from the romance, and so that is bringing this book down a little bit for me. So that is where I'm at with The Mist Thief. I'm going to finish it out and then of course I will give you guys my thoughts, and that will be it for this vlog. Normally I like to read like 3 books in a vlog, so apologies, this one might be a little bit shorter, but I have had so many things going on this week, so you know, 2 books in 5 days is absolutely not bad. So I'm going to go work on finishing this book, and then at some point I need to start packing, getting my life together, and we will chat in a little bit with my final thoughts on The Mist Thief. Hi friends, so it is a few hours later and I've had a very productive afternoon, but most importantly, I have finished The Mist Thief by LJ Andrews. So I think that this book is going to end up being a 3-star for me. Another 3-star read in the month of June, you guys. I don't know what is going on. I'm absolutely cursed this month. So many of the books on my June TBR have been 3 stars, but genuinely that is just how things have been happening. I don't know why, but I am just coming across a lot of mediocre books this month. I have had some hits though. Obviously The Veiled Kingdom. I read the Book of Azrael last week and absolutely loved that, but this is getting added to the 3-star June reads for me. I enjoyed aspects of this book. Once again, I really do love Jonas. This book did not make me dislike him at all. I think he is a well-written character. The dialogue and the banter in this book is very fun. I really did enjoy a lot of scenes between our characters, and some of those like mundane moments were cute, but I would have appreciated them so much more if the marriage of convenience trope was done better. I just really feel like they got along way too quickly. It did not seem difficult for them to be in this arranged marriage, and I just think there's so much you can do with that. And in the beginning of this book, they have reason to be adversaries. They have reason to dislike one another, and obviously being forced into a marriage that you don't anticipate happening is a really great setup, but I just don't think that we utilize that trope enough. I don't think that we had enough conflict between our characters, and I think it just would have made the overall romance so much more satisfying and the book a lot more interesting if we got that. I found myself a little bit bored at times, but then there would be fun scenes that would kind of save it, so my feelings were a little bit up and down while reading this, but overall it was just okay, and I'm mainly disappointed by how the Marriage of Convenience went, but I do like these characters. After reading this, I am definitely going to go back and read the prequel series, which is called, I think, the Broken Kingdom series, before I pick up the next book in this series, which isn't even out yet. But in this book, there's a lot of references to that previous series. And if you don't know, the Broken Kingdom series, which is LJ Andrews' other completed series, follows a bunch of characters. And then this series, the Ever King, the Ever Queen, and now the Mist Thief, follow those characters' children. This is like many decades later, or I guess they're fae, so it could be like hundreds of years later, following their children as they fall into romances. And there were so many references to the Broken Kingdom series and to Jonas's parents and their origin story, and I feel like that might have helped my experience a little bit more if I knew that. When I was reading the Ever King and the Ever Queen, I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel like I was missing out on too much by not reading the prequel series, but this one, I definitely think it would have helped, and I would have connected to a lot of the side characters a little bit more. I enjoyed them. I think that they were fun, but I think that I missed out on a lot of those connections, which would have made the reading experience just a little bit more meaningful. Those are my thoughts on the Mist Thief. 3 stars. Really wish that I loved this a little bit more. I did like it more than the Ever Queen though, so as of right now, my ranking for the series is number 1. The Ever King, that book is just so good. This is gonna be my second favorite, and then the Ever Queen is after that. But we do know who the next book is going to follow, and the plot and setup does sound interesting, and it sounds like it's more enemies to lovers, which is my number 1 favorite trope. So we'll see how that pans out whenever that book does come out. All right, my loves, so that is going to be it for this little weekly reading vlog. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you made it to this point in the video and you wanted to let me know, go ahead and leave the birthday cake emoji for Lachlan's birthday, and please make sure that you are following me on Instagram and Goodreads. They are always linked down below. I really appreciate that you watched this video. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I love you all so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.